Hello, Astro Nerds. It is your Astro Coach Sarah here for your astrology update for this new moon in Cancer, which comes with a Mercury Cazimi because Mercury is retrograde in Cancer. Um, and Venus is in Virgo and Jupiter's in Leo. We've had a lot of changes recently. Venus in Virgo. Venus does not like being in Virgo, so you may be feeling some feels um, with Venus being in Virgo, and you don't necessarily have to be a Virgo rising or Virgo have Virgo placements. You may be noticing it because the South Node is in Virgo. And so as Venus crosses paths with the South Node in Virgo, and Mercury's retrograde in Cancer. I said this in a short. If you want to go check out my shorts, I'm trying to get back into doing shorts on YouTube. Um, but it's a good opportunity. Virgo is also words and languages as much as it's like perfectionism and organization and being over analytical and all of those sorts of things. It's also languages. And so with Mercury, the ruler of Virgo being in Cancer, it's really an invitation to look at how you use words towards yourself, towards your inanimate objects, towards other people, towards, whatever it is. I am pretty conscientious at how I talk to my objects. Like I'm thankful for my laptop because I'm able to record these videos. I'm thankful to my phone. I'm thankful to my iPad, even though like I get annoyed with it because the lock button no longer works. But like every object that I own, I try to be conscientious and grateful for it serving its purpose. And even with a library book, I will return the library book and put it in the drop slot by the library, whatever, and give it some gratitude. Thank you for being such a good book. Thank you for what you're about to be for the next person who reads you. Those sorts of things. And that may seem like kooky. I don't really care. You can think I'm kooky, but I feel like showing gratitude for the material items that I interact with. Um, Matters energetically because if we think about everything is energy, that includes my iPad is energy and it's energy that serves me. It's energy that I use to project an astrological chart on the screen for you to see and I can draw and all the things and make it look really retarded because I'm not a good drawer, but anywho, but just the language that you use towards yourself. Do you talk about yourself in a nice way, a gratitude way? Thank you, body. Thank you, digestive system. Like I do actually do those things. And again, I don't really care if people think I'm kooky. I thank my body for being able to do what it does. I am grateful to have vision. I don't know a lot of people with my eye condition who have vision well into their 40s. Okay. Um, Obviously everyone with my eye condition has varieties of circumstances. So it's miraculous that I have vision at all. And the fact that I'm in my 40s and have vision, I am grateful for it every fucking day that I'm able to read tarot cards, read astrology charts, tell the colors of my yarn, tell the colors of my clothes. I'm able to cook food and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful that I'm able to see to do those things. And so as I'm getting older, my vision is starting to get a little wonky, but that was gonna happen with just getting older, right? So nothing catastrophic there. But I'm grateful for what I'm able to do with what I have. And even if you are someone who's blind, because I know I have a lot of blind listeners out there, even if you're someone who's blind, what are you grateful to still be able to do, even as someone who is either adjusting to or has been blind their entire life? You can probably hear and sense and touch things that most humans do not comprehend. You can hear sounds that they don't understand because they're not paying attention. You can touch things and know what it is by touching it. You notice a pattern in the tactile, you notice a pattern in sounds, right? Um, I was shocked today when I was on the bus because the bus announcement for one bus has sounded like a pack a day cigarette smoker. It's been really long, like really just crusty. And I hadn't really said anything because I didn't know anybody else used the audible announcements on my buses until some other ladies said, "Oh my God, that voice sounds awful. I wonder when they're going to fix it." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it's not just me." Um, anyway, so Virgo is really an invitation. Virgo, Venus and Virgo conjunct the South Node, Mercury retrograde in Cancer is an invitation to examine and really look at, maybe journal about it, mirror work about it, how you nurture things. Are you nurturing drama? If you're participating in gossip and drama, you're nurturing drama, you're nurturing gossip. If you are participating in a fandom of a sports team, of a celebrity, or whatever it is, you're nurturing that. And I posted a video in my IG stories earlier that said, if you're so concerned about I ran versus how much you ran, in other words, if you're so focused on shit that's outside of yourself, like celeb culture, um, government politics, you're so concerned about, having the latest, greatest, you're so concerned about your concert t-shirt collection that you're not nurturing your relationships, your, spouse, your body, your nutrition, your whatever it is. You need to look at that, because this is what I feel about this whole Barbo basket, cradle, whatever we're calling it, right? I've heard, there's a few definitions, but Barbo basket, because Barbo, I believe his name was Andre Barbo, predicted this particular configuration back in 2000. I don't know. He died in 2019, so it had to have been before that. Um, but here's my thought about this whole thing, because it's sextiles and trines. And while I love a good sextile and I love a good trine because they're easier transits, but there's nothing challenging about it. When we have opposition, squares, and conjunctions, we often have challenges. We have problems. We have shit that happens. This is a configuration of trines and sextiles. It's fairly effortless to work with, but it is an opportunity to look ourselves, each of ourselves, in the mirror. Look at your own face, look at your own body, look at your own mental state, your own emotional state, your own growth of your business, Sarah. Um, I'm calling myself out. Your own, how you're doing life. Are you satisfied? Because the only person you get to fault or blame is yourself, because and if you are like me, you don't have a lot of fire in your chart, which I do not. I don't have fire in any of my charts, like human design or astrology. I don't have fire. Okay, so I have to lean into people who have fire to help light a fire under my ass to do the damn thing. Okay. So, and I just wrote a book about all of this. Anyway, so manuscript has been turned in. That's why I'm a little bit lighter, I guess. But really, this configuration is going to start to perfect as we move further into the middle part of July and after this new moon in Cancer. And so I really would like to invite you to really think about, feel into, what the fuck are you doing to actually nurture your life? The things that you love to do. And at this point in the game, if you are worried about judgment, if you are worried about criticism, grow the fuck up. Because I guarantee you, there is something on the internet for everyone. I have seen some of the weirdest shit on social media, on YouTube, on websites, on whatever. I have seen it. I probably haven't seen it all, because every once in a while I have not seen it all. But I'm telling you, if you want to find a video on various pins, there's videos out there, and I have used them. I use them to find the right pins that I wanted to buy for myself to use as a low vision person. That's how I found the current pins in my pin collection. If you want to watch a YouTube video on nostalgic commercials and sing along to the jingles. Okay, what was it? 588-2300 Empire. Okay, what was the Hoover commercial? There was a Hoover vacuum commercial at one point. I don't know. Anyway, I'm pulling shit out of my butt at this point. But my point is like there's something on the internet for everyone. And if you are fearful of, I just wrote a book on metaphysics, and I literally in my acknowledgments said thank you to the people who supported this project, even though they have no fucking clue what it's about and probably will never read it. They might buy it, but they probably won't read it. And if they do read it, will they understand what the hell I'm even talking about? But they supported my freaking journey. And I feel like that is the underlying thing. I have friends and family who do not understand my work, who don't get me at all. I read more books than most of my family has ever read or will ever read, and some of my friends too. I could go on of examples of things that I know that people have supported me on, or people have supported. I support other people, even if I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever. I don't care. Go for it. Are you happy? Good. Because when we nurture ourselves and our own authenticity, remember Pluto's in Aquarius and the North Node is headed for Aquarius. When we nurture our own authentic self, we are fucking loved from the top down, from the universe, the divine, from God on down to your neighbor, your whomever. Most people in my neighborhood know me as the white girl who walks everywhere. Like they know as soon as they see me come off the elevator and head out the door, I'm headed out for my walk, right? So they'll sometimes even remind me to take water with me, which that's awfully thoughtful considering it's been hot and humid in the Midwest. Anywho, I could go on and on, but I think you get the point. And I feel like with this Barbo basket, with this new moon in Cancer, this Mercury cazimi in Cancer, Venus moving through Virgo for the next like month and a half or so, it's really this invitation to look at what you're nurturing. Because if you're nurturing the haters, if you're nurturing the people who criticize and judge you and giving them the power to say you're stupid or you're unhinged or whatever, like maybe you are actually unhinged. I probably am unhinged in many ways, but I'm also really freaking happy. I'm also very nerdy. I very much love Star Trek. I very much love watching a television show or a movie and seeing past the dialogue and the what and seeing the meaning and what the message is behind it for all of us to see. Because you can learn a lot about humanity from watching Star Trek. You can learn about a lot about the battle of dark and light by watching Star Wars and anything in between. You can learn about a lot about the human superpowers by watching Superman or Spider-Man or any of the other superhero-y things. I'm not totally into that. But I'm not saying you can climb buildings, although that couple in New York sure did. And supposedly that was AI. So let me talk about AI for a second. Because, okay, supposedly the couple who climbed to the top of the spire of the Empire State Building and waved a flag that had what was the message? When the world knows love more than power. I don't remember what it said. Somebody knows it. But my point is like the first moment, my first instinct was it was AI because how the fuck did they climb to the top of the spire with like nothing? And who cares if it was or was not AI, first of all? It was a message for humanity, nonetheless. There was a marriage proposal on top of one of the highest buildings in the world. Then there was the Kelsey Findler who rode from California, like in a rowboat with oars, rode, okay, just in case you don't know what that is, rode from California to Hawaii. And supposedly that was all green screen AI, hoaxy, all of, but what a fucking cool hoax. It was a hoax that brought people together because people were following her journey, and it was a beautiful thing. What a good way to use AI and technology. Was it hokey? Was it unreal? Yeah, but that actually was positive stuff. A marriage proposal, a message of love, a message of humans knowing peace when they know love. Those are positive messages. Everybody came together to support this Kelsey chick rowing across the ocean. That's positive. We need more of that, even if it's hoax or AI or whatever. It's still hope. It's still collective. It's still people coming together in a love sort of way. So think about that. AI does not have to be our enemy. A lot of people use AI to run a business. And, hopefully they know foundational skills and they don't trust completely in AI because AI fucks up all the time. At least in my experience of using AI. I do use it. I'm not completely opposed to using it. I actually consulted it last night. But I do think that there are consequences to using AI. But in general, I think that there are very useful tools that are AI supported and can allow us to do things that we maybe wouldn't ordinarily be able to do because it exists. So, do I think it's broken and fucked up? Yeah, of course. But, so is every iPhone, every internet website that you go to has some level of corruption to it. And you are at risk every time you're on the internet. And if you're worried about being tracked and all of that, you have an iPhone. Apple can track you. So, all right, what else is going on? So my thought on this whole thing, this month of July, and this Barbo basket that I have been talking about, this configuration that I have been talking about. My thought of it is will it change the world? It's going to initiate some shit because you can't have that much fire and air without something being initiated. However, I think it goes back to what many coaches and spiritual practitioners often say, no one's coming to save us. Like if we're all sitting here waiting for the exposure of whatever flavor of conspiracy theory we have this week, that shit's already available. The e-files, the Epstein list, it's already available. But you can't, most people are so complacent and so inundated with their comfort zone, with their luxuries, with their this, that, and the other. They don't want to see it. And you can't force people to see it. We can't force people to see it. What I can do is encourage you to make shifts, to shift your thoughts, to shift your mindset from being a pile of dirty shit to being gratitude and liking yourself and loving yourself and showing yourself. That I can encourage you to do, but even I can't make you change that. I can't go to the bathroom for you. I can't eat food for you. So I feel like then with this, with Neptune and Saturn being in Aries and Mercury retrograde in Cancer with this Cancer new moon, the nodes are about to shift into North Node Aquarius, South Node Leo. I think this is about each of us taking responsibility for our own shit and allowing all of the trauma, air quotes. I'm going to say air quotes, which is going to piss some people off. But if you really think about the word trauma, I think most of us don't really, I think we have what's the word here? We've overdone it with trauma. And I'm not trying to minimize your experience of life, but go read books about people's life stories. What's Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Is it David Goggins or Daniel Goggins? I always mess that up. David Goggins. Go read that. Go read Uncultured by Daniela Young. Mystia, I can't remember her name. Uncultured. Go read that. Go read books about people who have grown up under wild circumstances and survived and thrived. Because I think that we're overusing the term trauma. Do I think people hide from themselves? Yes. And I think that the South Node being in Leo with Pluto in Aquarius and the North Node in Aquarius is going to fucking show that people are hiding and using their whatever as an excuse. I think the invitation in July is to step into your own uniqueness. Because if the world's going to crumble and the world's going to implode on itself, wouldn't you rather come out on top? Okay. I've kind of ranted enough about that. Let's pull up the new moon in Cancer chart and take a look at it. I just really want to say, like, please feel into what that looks like for you. What are you really fucking scared of? Because I don't think it's what you think it is. Okay, let me pull up the chart. All right. It's actually a really nice new moon. Um, in Cancer, you can see it here on the left-hand side of the chart. It's at 21 degrees, almost at 22, 21:59 of Cancer. Mercury has just had his Cazimi, so this new moon peaks on Tuesday at like 4:43 a.m. Central Time on the 14th of July. The Cazimi is about a day and a half before that. So you're getting this like almost like double whammy of Sun and Cancer conjuncting the moon, which the moon's at home in Cancer, but preceding that, like Mercury's on fire under the beams of the sun in that inferior Cazimi, and it's almost like you're getting this like emotional jolt, like depending on where Cancer is in your chart, this like if you're in Aries rising, this is hitting you at home in your home. This could be emotional. This could really bring on some emotions. This could really bring on some grief. I was actually scrolling through some what was it, America's Got Talent or The Voice, one of those. I don't know. I don't watch those shows, but the clips come on my feeds once in a while. And I found myself crying over videos I've seen like a million times. And I was just tears streaming down my face. So I was getting a little emotional. So you might notice that you're getting extra emotional. You're crying over the littlest things. You're crying over positive things or sad things. Like it could be anything, but like allow those tears to fall because this is a watery new moon with Mercury there. But so if you have anything in Cancer at 22, I would say from 20 to probably like 25 of Cancer, you might notice this more and more. You might be extra emotional and you may not understand it if you're a Leo rising, Cancer being in your 12th house, like this is completely subconscious. So you may notice like you're sleeping more, you're tired, but just allow that subconscious internal processing to process and do its thing. 21 degrees, so it's not really aspecting, I mean, loosely aspecting Saturn in Aries with that square. But you can see we've got Neptune. We go up to the top of the chart. We got Neptune retrograde at 4 Aries. Saturn's at 14. We've got Pluto. Where are you, Pluto? There he is. Pluto at 4, that's the Pluto-Neptune sextile, which has been going on for over a century. So that's not new. And then if we come down here, we've got Jupiter at 3. Hygieia is actually at 0. I do have thoughts on Hygieia's position in Leo. And I'm going to share that over on the Awakening Spirit Collective. So if you're interested in that. And then Uranus has moved into 4 degrees of Gemini. So you can see Mars is still in Gemini at 10. But my point here is that you can see the setup happening. Oops. Again, I'm a shitty drawer. I'm sorry. Not really. It just is who I am. But there's the opposition building between Pluto and Jupiter. Those two planets conjuncted thrice in Capricorn back in 2020, I believe, or 2020 or 2021. So this is the opposition of Pluto and Jupiter. And then we obviously have the Neptune sextile Pluto, and then the Neptune trine Jupiter. Let me see if I can do that better. Sorry, I'm just not good at it. I had a pencil at one point. I think it died a long time ago. So you've got that triangle, and you've got the sextile between Neptune and Uranus. And then you have the trine from Pluto to Uranus. So there's that triangle. And then the sextile between Uranus and Jupiter. There's your basket. There's your trines and sextiles. Now, I don't remember if I said this on this platform. This configuration is happening at 4 degrees here in 2026, but in 2027, it's also going to happen at 7 degrees. So we're not done with this. This is going to develop. This is going to develop. So is it initiating something? I mean, this is a lot of fire and air. It's a lot of fire and air. It is an invitation to be creative. It is an invitation to get something going, to light a fire under your butt. But it's also not going to give you any kind of drive because it's trines and sextiles. However, if you show the universe that you're willing to do the damn thing, it's going to reward you probably a lot quicker than if it were in earth and water signs. Because fire and air works faster. It executes faster than water and earth. But let's not forget that we have the nodes at 0 degrees, north node Pisces, south node Virgo. And so they're finishing up. So really this new moon over here in Cancer, I'll circle all of that, is kind of an invitation. What are you done nurturing? What are you done giving away? Because you're likely nurturing something, whether it's in the physical or mental or how you communicate, how you talk, whatever. You're likely nurturing something that's completely irrelevant to your life. I recently had to quiet someone in my life who I care about, who I want good things for, but I was not okay with how they treated me. I wasn't okay with their words. I wasn't okay with it came across as bullying. And I maybe was triggered from previous experiences. But I also at the time was like almost done with my manuscript and like wasn't in a place where I needed to be like pushed, except unless it was coming across in like the gentlest way possible because I was so close to finishing my manuscript. Anyway, I silenced that person and I don't miss that person being in my, so maybe I made a better decision than I think I did in the time. At the time I was like, yeah, maybe I'll talk to that person again after I submit, but I don't miss any of that. So I think there are times when even if we care about someone and even if we really want good things for somebody, or whatever, that it's also okay to say, I don't want you in my sphere, in my energetic field, because how you come across is not how I want people to come across to me. And I am very particular about those things. So, anyway, so this may be like you're closing out something, even if it's like a new moon. It's almost like, okay, I'm going to consciously, very intentionally practice being grateful. I'm going to consciously and intentionally practice, you know, allowing the flow, right? Cancer is watery, it's flowing, it's, yeah, it's not mutable, it's cardinal, but there's also this initiative, like, I'm gonna allow the flow. I'm gonna allow the flow. And Venus down here has just conjuncted the South Node in Virgo, is really that invitation to be done with things that aren't giving you a return on investment, ROI. This is a lot why I don't do a lot of social media anymore, because to me, it's just not where I'm meant to be, because I don't get an ROI. I don't get return on investment. Now, that could be because I don't do enough things in the physical world. It also could be because I have Saturn and North Node in Virgo, that I'm meant to be in the community, in public, in front of physical people, and not in front of a camera. So it's those are shifts that I have to make and that I am working on making. But really evaluating, what are you putting, what are you nurturing, and is it giving you a return on investment, or is it time to give yourself a positive boost? Because I can pretty much guarantee that if you shift your way of thinking and shift into gratitude and shift into trust and surrender and like showing up for yourself in the best way possible with this much fire and air in this sort of basket or cradle, um, I feel like your ROI is going to be better than you even can imagine. There's a lot of unknown with this, with Uranus involved and Pluto being the dispositor or the ruler of Uranus, because Pluto is in Aquarius. So I I can't almost can't word it enough to be like, it's not gonna push you to do it because there's no squares or up, yeah, there's the Pluto Jupiter opposition, but there's not a lot of push to support you in doing it, but there's a lot of reward if you allow yourself to do the damn thing. There's a lot of reward to it. Okay. Um, anyway, all that being said, I kind of like this new moon. I think the tough energy is the Venus conjunct the South Node is the tough energy, because Venus is not happy in Virgo. And I think that the South Node have really having us let go of things that we love that may be difficult, whether that's relationships, material possessions. Maybe you have to, let go of a job. Virgo rules jobs. Things like that. I feel like that could be challenging, but just remember that there is likely a reward on the other side that you cannot see in this moment. And quite often, I've heard this from multiple entrepreneurs, because I associate with a bunch of entrepreneurial coaches in my work because I am a coach. That I hear from them all the time that, like, they had to fully let go of their previous corporate job, their previous business, their previous whatever it was. I think it's pouring down rain outside and I keep getting distracted by it. Um, they fully had to let that go for the new opportunity to come into play. Now, that doesn't always work for everyone because you may not have the money, you may not have the resources to do it, but if you can, like, even energetically, conscientiously say, I'm done with that. I'm ready to make the shift, and just kind of detach from it, it might open the door just enough for you to get going on that next big thing. So anyway, my invitation is the same. I feel like this new moon is an opportunity to shift your emotions and your thoughts and your words, and just being conscientious about how you interact. So we're gonna save that for now. It's actually actively storming now. That's okay. Oh, good. All right, let's hit some tarot, and I got some self-care oracle for you. It's a new moon, so it's a dark moon. It's also a water moon, and the dark moon will be in Gemini over the weekend, so July 10th, 11th, 12th, before the new moon in Cancer. So it might be a really good idea to stay hydrated and journal, get some words out. Gemini is words, do some journaling. Um, really talk things out. Maybe have one of those like verbal conversations with yourself, record some voice memos, record. I often do video journaling when I just need to like talk it out. I do video journaling, um, any kind of those things just to like talk it out. Or maybe you need a coach. I'm your person. Maybe you want to look at your astrology chart, book a reading with me. I'm happy to look at your chart and walk you through how this may be opening up doors for you that you can't see. And I'm not saying that I'd be able to see them, but I can certainly guide you through where that Barbo basket, that cradle is supportive for you to move in a different direction. Because it is hitting all modalities. There's fixed energy in that thing. There's mutable energy. So I can't really say that like if you're this sign, it's going to square you. It's aspecting every other sign in the zodiac. So in some way, it is aspecting every sign in the zodiac. I don't know if y'all can hear the thunder booming outside, but it is thundering. We're kind of used to it here in the Midwest because that's all it's been fucking doing is thundering, or it's been like insane hot. All right, let's see what we got in the tarot. Come on, camera. There we go. All right, we have, where's the number? I need to get a different deck of cards. Oh, it's the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Four of Pentacles in reverse. I kind of feel like this, just looking at the picture, is like something's out of balance. Something's kind of out of whack. And I feel like that's accurate, right? You know something's not serving you. You know something is not going the way you thought. But honestly, look at yourself. You're trying to look at everything around you when it's you. It's you. Um, this is the ultimate configuration to really look at yourself and stop blaming, shaming yourself, stop blaming other people, but like taking responsibility for yourself. We also got, this is the seven of, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Hmm. I have thoughts on this. I could be wrong. I can be wrong because I'm not good at reading tarot very well, but the way I'm looking at this is he has a pentacle in between his feet and he's looking down at it, but there's like this whole mess of abundance over here on the that's like ready to roll right for him, but he's too busy paying attention to this one thing. There's a cog, right? So it's almost like letting go of that cog allows the flow to continue. That's my thought. I don't know if I'm right. I could be completely wrong. That's okay. The message is still the same. The abundance is waiting for you. What are you willing to let go? And it could be a mindset thing. Mine's a mindset thing, right? Mine's a mindset thing. Let's see what's up with the self-care. Oracle. Your happiness and your like abundance is on the other side of your bullshit. I just finished a book club. Hearts Unleashed does book clubs and they're like personal development book clubs. And the book we were reading was called Existential Kink. I do and don't recommend it because it's a really like difficult book if you are like going through it. But like it was so much fun to basically get super kinky and super turned on by our own shadows. And like basically like I was literally like um saying how much I love the fact that I don't get the attention like on social media that I want. And like, I'm not like an influencer. I don't have a huge I love it. I love it because I don't have to do the thing. I don't have to do more, right? I can do whatever I want because nobody's paying attention to and I was like totally like going off about it in the most positive way. But I'm like, at the end of the day, like, how dare I not share my work? How dare I not? Because there's people out here who do love what I do, even if I don't notice it in the moment, you know? It's just one of those like getting off on how it's not going. Um, make a meal, nourish yourself. Nourish yourself, nourish your skin, nourish your body. Be grateful for that digestive system. Be grateful for that liver that detoxes, the kidneys that process and do all of the things so that we can pee properly. Be grateful, make a meal, like be grateful for your colon, your bowels, and having a good, healthy poop. Seriously, be thankful for a good, healthy poop. People who don't like farts are not people I understand because man, I grew up in a family in a household that like appreciated a good fart. And my brother is like the worst like SBD farter ever. Anyway, I probably just gave too much away and he'll be embarrassed if he ever found out I said that. But anyway, my point is like make a good meal. Let your system do its job. We'll get another card with that. It's also Cancer season, so nourish and nurture yourself. Cancer is supposed to do that. Um, oh, look at that. You write a gratitude list. I invite you to write down 5 things you're grateful for every single day. 5 things that you are grateful for. And guys, don't think hard about it. Some days I am just grateful for a hot shower. I am thankful for ice water. I am thankful for like the food I get to eat. I'm thankful for like the hats that I wear because I always wear a hat. I am thankful for a sunny day to go take a walk. I am thankful for trees. You don't have to make it complicated. But just be thankful. Be thankful that you have a phone or a device that you're watching this video or any other YouTube video on. Be thankful that you have a screen reader to read things, even if it fucks up and blunders and all that shit. Be thankful for it. Be thankful that you have access to things in 2026 that you probably didn't have access to in 2006 when the internet was first a thing. There's a reason why a lot of blind people didn't use MySpace because accessibility wasn't a thing. I mean, it wasn't as advanced, obviously, but like I missed the whole MySpace thing because computers just weren't accessible for blind people back then or even low vision people back then. And I didn't really know how to use the internet very well. So, and then I went and taught computers. So go figure. Clearly, I knew how to do something. Anyway, make a gratitude list. I invite you to, from the new moon on July 14th through the full moon, which would be July 20, we'll say first, because that would be, oh wait, no, 29th, 2 weeks, 28th, 29th, 2 weeks. Usually there's 2 weeks. Between the new moon on July 14th and the full moon in Aquarius on July 29th, I want you to Write 5 things every single day, 14 days. Write 5 things that you're grateful for. And I'm going to ask you about that in the Aquarius full moon video. So come back and talk to me about it. Okay. Okay. All right. Check out my shorts because I am doing astrology. I stole that word. My friend made it up for me. Astrology plus T equals astrology. So I'm going to try and do those shorts here on YouTube. I've been doing them over on TikTok. So if you want to follow my TikTok, it's at Sarah Waggle. You can follow me there. But if you want to just follow me on YouTube, that's why I'm kind of expanding it because I don't have a lot of people on TikTok. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like a lot of people follow me on every platform that I'm on. So anyway, follow my shorts. If you want to get a reading from me, link is below. And if you want to keep updated on book things, because the manuscript is in the hands of the editor, go sign up for my e-newsletter and you will get updates through that. All right. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.